Ava, come here. Must be recall season because a lot of clients now want to work on their recall. So I figured what better way than just to make all new videos. I actually made a video a while back. I think it's one of my first ones ever about the recall. So, but decided to actually walk you through it and do just like I normally do. Put step 1, 2, 3, and then in between, just come in with things that have helped me in order to create a solid recall. So the first one is I actually got Ava on the line today, not using her prong. No rhyme or reason, other than the fact that I was just lazy, so I just got a slip lead today. I got her food, and I got a ball, and that is it. So contrary to popular belief, and I actually evolved my recall just because of things that I was doing, not knowing that I was doing until someone actually pointed it out. And it was actually no one I know, but it was actually Nino from STK that actually pointed out where with the recall you actually have to do multiple behaviors, because the biggest one I see with the recall is the dog comes to you but then it's jumping all over the place and the dog has no structure of where to go. It just bounces all over and then ends up running away. So in order to combat that, we're actually going to do a recall but also a few healings. So one thing that I did was always just defaulted to the left, and that's where you saw again how I just stylized it, the heel with Ava. So I'm gonna just keep tugging on her and then bring her to the left. Big thing after that is do something else with the dog. Okay, just don't let them just sit there over and over, because eventually the dog's gonna realize if I just keep coming to you, you're just gonna make me sit, and that's boring and I don't want to do that. So keep the dog active and interactive, so once the dog gets back to you, make them do 2 or 3 things, and then you can release and rework. Other thing, the big thing that I also noticed with the recall is a couple of clients were having problems with the dog just sitting. They don't want to come. That's why I got the line. If you want to use a retractable line, that's fine, or just use a long line. But once the dog just wants to sit and doesn't want to come to you, just keep moving back and just keep doing those annoying little tugs. And this is where step 1 actually is going to come in, is just creating the drive. I'm not putting a command to it. I'm just hey, hey, something like that, and bringing them to me. And again, if I have to use the line, I got it. But that's the big one for that's the big thing. First of all, is when you're doing it, is you don't need to put a command to it. But if you want to do the whistle, so this is how people kind of integrate the whistle as a recall, is just by getting their attention with a high-pitched whistle and just keep moving back and pulling the line. That's going to be step 1. So if that's how you want to incorporate the whistle and how you want to get a whistle as a recall, just do it like that. Okay, I'll go ahead and show you. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Front. Left. Yes, good girl. Okay. So I'm just doing that over and over again. I am not making her sit or anything like that and then trying it, because over time, I've noticed it with me anyway, with my dog, excuse me. It's good first thing in the morning. If I put them in a sit and then do the recall, it kind of eventually creeps into their sit or their down, where it's just not as solid and they can just start breaking whenever they want, and I don't want that. Okay, so rather than tampering with their down and plots and their stays, I just keep building up the drive, running away from her to create that emotion, to create that drive to come to me. Okay, so your dog isn't as distracted, build the emotion, run away. Remember, motion creates emotion, so keep running away from them, and that's how you're going to get them back to you and be more excited and start that whistle. Okay, good girl. Right, good girl. That one was absolutely perfect. She wanted to go her own way. I started going the other way, whistled, and brought her back just like this. There she is. Good girl. Good girl. Left again. Good girl. So I'm just not working on one single behavior here. Good girl. I'm just keeping it interesting so this way she doesn't just get bored of, hey, I come to you, I gotta sit. No, there's gonna be different things going on in order to keep her interested and want to come to me, okay? So, with that being said, I'm gonna add a couple more distractions, something a little bit higher, okay? So I got her ball with me. So I'm gonna actually put the food out. I'm gonna let her go, I'm gonna do a send out, but I'm gonna have her come to me. And then when I do, I'm gonna have her ball actually as a reward. So this way she realizes when I come back, if she comes back to me, she's gonna get a higher value treat than something that was out there, okay? This time I will have you sit though, girl. Sit. Hopefully you guys can see that. But again, that's why I have, just pop that shit. That's why I have the long line. So this way she has plenty, prick to the gun there. She has plenty of lines. So if she doesn't come back, she's gonna pop herself. Okay, so if you're gonna work on this, have a line that's at least 10, 12, 15 foot line. So this way the dog has plenty of room to make those mistakes, okay? The 4 to 6, foot leash isn't quite enough. It's too close to home. So again, I'd rather have her correct herself more at a distance than right next to me, okay? So the bull's right there, it's got the food. You can see her, she's getting trigger happy, but I got the ball right behind me. So I'm gonna have her recall as soon as she gets there. And then as soon as I do, I'm gonna reward her with the ball, which may go off camera, but so be it. Yep, go. Ava, come back. Yes. Good girl. Come here. Good girl. Oh. Oh. Ava, come back. Yes, good girl. Yeah, so. Come here. There you go. Yes. Oh. Go get it. Ava, come. Yeah. Good girl. Yes. Oh. Ava, come back. Yes, good girl. Even if she doesn't take the reward that she wants, she at least gets a reward. So even though I'm calling her off something at a distance and having her come back and I'm actually letting the leash go, don't do as I do as I say. Hang on to your leash, especially when you're trying to solidify this. Her recall is pretty soft, so that's why I let it go. But at least, well, I was saying, when she comes back, even though I wanted her to get the food, so be it. Even though she came back to me, she did come back to me. That was the goal. I mean, I let her go pretty quick, so that's another thing. If you want them to come back faster, go ahead and release them faster as well. So this way, the anticipation of what she wants, she can go out and get it. So that's where she went out and got her ball, and she came back because she knows I'm gonna start playing with her again. Oh. Ava, come. Ava, come. Front. Right. Yes. Always mix it up. Left, right, front, whatever you want. Multiply those behaviors so this way it doesn't get bored. Okay? Now with that, so you put out a distraction at a distance. Now you're working on correcting her to come back to you. And the biggest thing again is just have something on you that equals her excitement. So whether it's her breakfast food or if it's just a ball, go for it. But now we got to amp it up. So now I'm gonna put the ball and her food right next to each other, and she has to come right to me. If she goes distracted and wants to go off to either one of them, she's gonna get popped on a collar because that's not what I want. I want her to come to me. She will get a reward, but she has to come to me when I say it, okay? Front, clutch. So I know I just said it about putting them in a sit or a down and then calling them back. Unfortunately for this one, unless you have someone holding them, I gotta go ahead and have her break from her sit in her stay and actually come to me for this one, okay? So being kind of contradictory, but so be it. Got the line. Yeah, look, trigger happy, there we go. Hey, front. Come. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Just keep moving back. Again, that will help solidify that come, okay? Even though she came right to the front, I just keep going back, again, creating more motion and emotion. So rather than just making her come and telling her to sit, I don't need to tell her to sit because I just tell her front or left or right, and she's gonna do it automatically. So again, this is where blending all those multiple behaviors come into play. Gonna close the distance on these two now. And I hope you guys can see that shit. Come. Right. Front. Left. Yes. Good girl. You can choose which one she wants. I don't care. I just care that she came. That's it. Good girl. Ah. Do it a couple more times. Sit. Now I'm gonna create more distance because that's over there. I'm over here. Come. Good girl. Sidebar, be careful with all the running and timing of giving them the rewards and treats in case they choke a little bit. So I just told her to choke a little bit right there. Girl. Now I'm just gonna keep playing. So those would be the big three for right now. Starting out, have a long line and just keep tugging, whistling, getting their attention to come to you. Put them in the left, right, front, whatever. From there, if you want to do a couple more pieces of obedience, like a focus heel, if they're already healing, you want to put them into a down, sit, whatever. Dealer's choice. Go for it. But at least you're just breaking up the monotony of knowing that they know that if they come to you, I just gotta sit. Because eventually that shit's gonna get old. Because just like kids, if I know I just gotta come to you and gotta sit and I gotta behave, that shit's fucking boring. The old man is wrong. I'm gonna do my own thing. So that's why having multiple things going on is going to keep them interested in what's going on, and eventually you're going to have that high value item reward that they can get paid with. Next, have them send out. Okay, this is going to break up the difference of having them break from a down or a heel, and you can again work multiple behaviors. So if you want to work on your focus heels or your just healing techniques and then release them, yes, go get it, and then call them off, and then as they come, you're going to have that other piece of reward that usually kind of have to hide. Like I had it in my back pocket, but eventually they're going to know about it. But the difference is they're going to be conditioned to know that if I come back, I'm going to get something. Okay, and it's going to be a lot better than what I was going to go after. The next, from there, you just keep challenging the dog. Okay, you want to put multiple items out, have them on the line. Again, they got to come right to you. They can't break from that line. They can't go sniff or want to stop for something else because they're going to get popped. Okay, and then same thing, work on something, walk away, then release them. Okay, you got to give them a reward to come to you for sure. Even if they want to go out and go get it, fine. They still came to you, they still sat, they still waited, they did good. So then you want to send them out like Ava did a couple of times here. Bob's your uncle, I don't care. Finally, because this happens, if you don't have a line on them and they're in drive, if they're in their backyard, they're in the field, you're just horsing around, and you say come and they don't come, and if you don't have an e-collar, the only way you got to do it is literally grab them by their scruff and bring them to you. Go ahead, they need that tactile correction to know something bad was going to happen. Doorbell goes off, mailman comes over, they go crazy, you tell them to come, go in their crate, they don't want to do it. Guess what, you got to get up, grab them by their scruff, and come to you. Okay, they need that correction. The fewer corrections they get with this, especially starting out, the harder it's going to get. Okay, the harder it's going to be, but that's why you're layering it with all these rewards. And I'm going to go ahead and say it because I throw my shit out there. I'm very transparent. If you got to do a tactile correction, you got to grab them by their scruff. Please don't grab them by the ear. I think I did it the other day. Both of them were going crazy about the door or what have you, and they weren't listening. So when I grabbed Ava, I got a little bit by her ear. So just be careful. If you got to grab them by their scruff, grab the scruff, not the ear. Felt like an asshole. So please don't do as I did there. That's why I'm always throwing my shit out there, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. But hopefully this helps. Again, challenge your dog, have fun. After a while, once they finally realize the come movement, you can start adding that command in. At first, I really don't, but if you want to at least have that whistle, like a lot of people have that whistle for the dog to come, that's what you do. You're just using that whistle to get their attention, okay? That's it. So hopefully this helps. Practice, have a lot of fun with it. Again, you're just putting it all into your training. You're not just, if you want to work on a single command, you can, kind of like we did today, but notice, do a little bit of, a little spice in there with different pieces of obedience, but again, you're just breaking up so the dog is interested, and that's what it's all about. As long as they're interested in what they're doing, they're interested in you, they're gonna have fun, they're gonna keep doing it, and same with you. So work on it, good luck, talk to you next time, done.